Okay, it may not be the best video game story of all time, since that's ultimately based on personal preference, but for me, Mafia II immersed me in the story more than any other game I've played so far. Mafia II is such an underrated game, often overlooked by many people due to its perceived similarities with other open world games, such as Grand Theft Auto.
What's up, homie, huh?
But what many don't know is that Mafia II is quite different from those games, and achieves something entirely different, and arguably more beautiful. Although the game has a few issues, especially relating to gameplay here and there,
all you have to do now is fire 2 shots into the armrest and watch as it launches you under and across the map.
the story of Vito Scaletta and his rise from a poor immigrant to being respected among the ranks of organized crime captures your attention right from the start of the game and keeps it until the very end. And what an emotional ending it is.
Oh my god. I get it.
Disclaimer, this video contains spoilers, so please play the game before watching the rest of this video. The story of a game cannot make a game great on its own. It first needs to make the story real and believable from the first second of the game. And you bet your ass this game immerses you into the world of organized crime any chance it gets. And I miss playing this game for the very first time. Thankfully, this video has given me an excuse to immerse myself in the game all over again.
Hey, everybody, let's have some fun. You only live but once, but when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll.
A game and its story would be nothing if it couldn't immerse us into the world that holds the story. I believe Mafia II achieves this better than any other game I've played before. Let's start off with the graphics and physics of the game, which were very well done when it was released. The graphics still hold up today, and a remaster improves on this in most cases. As for me, I prefer the original because it gives a rugged sense to the game, and also nostalgic reasons as well. The game takes advantage of Nvidia's Apex platform at the time, being able to use numerous physics modules such as destruction, clothing, and turbulence. The physics hold up still in 2024, and I was very impressed when it came out, and it's still better than its sequel in this area as well. Adding more depth and realism to the world, immersing you in the world just that little bit more when needed. There's nothing like Vito running through the city at night with his coat flowing in the wind that makes you feel like a gangster in the 40s. The music in the game is hands down the best music I've ever seen in a game, or heard.
So don't withhold the evidence. Question me. Offer me proof your heart is true. Question me.
The game has music from over 135 different artists in the 40s and 50s, covering the two eras that appear in the game. This game has one of the largest assembled collections of music ever seen in a game when it came out, and still to this day. The original score is beautiful and impactful during emotional moments in the game, and the licensed music makes you want to spend more time just driving around Empire Bay, making the world feel more alive and bigger than it is. And while you're out and about driving through the city, wanted posters are all around the city ready to be collected. And just wait, if that doesn't interest you, I know what will. During missions, you'll be able to find and collect over 50 Playboy magazines throughout the game. Now I know I've got your attention. Despite the magazines being anachronistic, it still adds another level of realism and immersion unseen from any other game. And in my opinion, the only collectibles in a video game I was excited to collect. Very excited. If you know what I mean. On top of this, the weapons and cars in the game bring the immersion to the next level. No Mafia game would be complete without a Tommy gun. All the vehicles in the game are authentic to their time period, needs to be repaired, refilled, can collect dirt, and obviously explode.
Shit. Did I leave gas in that thing?
Just have a look at this and tell me where else you can get an immersive experience like this. The main aspect of a story that makes or breaks it are the characters, and Mafia II has some of the best characters in a video game. The game starts with introducing you to the main character of the game, Vito Scaletta. Throughout the game, you play as Vito as he goes from a poor immigrant family to becoming a made man of the Falcone family in Empire Bay. He's not a perfect, good moral character many games portray. He's driven to make it to the top whilst being remorseless and violent at times. but is brought back to being relatable through his humanity, especially towards his sister and mother. We get to know of his past and the troubles he has faced, which gives you a complex character you can both relate to and be conflicted with, which makes the story much more interesting. However, Vito is a strong and more quiet character which can bring the story down in terms of fun and action. This is where Joe Barbero comes in. Although I think Vito is a great character, Joe is hands down my favourite character in the game. He brings life to the game and the story. You know, anytime he says not to worry or nothing bad will happen, you know shit's about to hit the fan.
Hey, don't worry, Vito. These girls are real professionals.
This wasn't supposed to be part of your homecoming party, but it's nice out here, ain't it? I ain't been in the woods for a while.
Yeah, you won't be liking it so damn much after I smack you with this shovel.
His loyalty to Vito and even Henry makes you love and adore him. The only negative is the fact that we don't see him grow and evolve as a character as much as he deserves. Vito and Joe are great as a duo in the game, especially as Joe is the funny man to Vito's straight man. These two as the main protagonists in the game makes you invested in the story and leaves you wanting more every session of playing the game. The antagonists of Mafia II are quite interesting, and there isn't exactly one main antagonist. As Vito and Joe strive to be made in the Falcone family, we find out how bad the Clemente family are, but we also find out that the Falcone family aren't that much better. The characters in the game are well written and perfectly match the tone of the game, reminding me of many Mafia films such as Goodfellas. The characters are both complex, fun, and make you feel.
I'm sorry, kid. I am so sorry.
All the elements that make a game great to play. And not only makes the game great, but makes the story even greater. This is where this video gets spoiler heavy, so I insist those that haven't played the game yet to stop the video and play it. And if you still choose to watch the rest of this video, then it ain't my fault if you regret it. As mentioned before, Vito and his family are poor due to the Great Depression, and he ends up getting caught stealing with Joe, and chooses to fight in Sicily instead of doing time in prison. He is injured in action and Joe manages to fake discharge papers so he's permanently free from serving. His motivation for choosing a life of organized crime is perfectly written as he returns to his family in the worst financial condition and feels responsible to take care of them. He works with Joe on some not so legal jobs and ends up making more connections with the Clemente family, eventually completing a hit that allows him to provide money for his family. Just when things are looking up for Vito, he's caught for selling ration stamps for profit, which ends up changing his life and also provides the overall story with a much more interesting twist than him just naturally making his way up the ranks in organized crime. In prison, he forms a close bond with Leo Galante of the Vinci family, and helps him shorten his sentence and is released in the early 50s. Joe is now working for the Falcone family and helps Joe with various jobs. After a successful hit on Vito's former boss, Luca Guarino, Vito and Joe are brought into the Falcone family as made men. Just when life seems to be only getting better, he is tasked to kill Leo Galante, only for Vito to help Galante flee to Lost Haven. After his villa is set on fire and is left with no money, he reluctantly goes on a drug deal with Joe and Henry, and makes the deal with the Triads. However, after Henry is killed by the Triads for being a rat, and Vito takes revenge, a war between the Triads and the Mafia families is sparked. Galante contacts Vito and tells him that the only way for redemption is to kill Carlo Falcone, and so he's left with no other choice. Waiting for him is Joe, who is told by Falcone to kill Vito.
Now, Joe.
Hey, if you're gonna pull that trigger, do it already.
What are you waiting for?
Vito, let's shoot this cocksucker.
Remember what we talked
On
about,
tree.
Joe? You're gonna throw all that away? Do it!
2.
Now!
But due to their loyalty and friendship, they decide to kill Falcone together.
Me fuck. Fucking prick.
The next point in the story is arguably one of the best endings in the video game and my personal favourite. As things finally look resolved, Vito finds out that the deal only covers his life, not Joe's.
Hey, what the hell's going on? Where they taking Joe?
Sorry, kid. Joe wasn't part of our deal.
Vito is left helpless as he watches his best friend being driven away to his end. The story portrays hardship from the beginning, the bond and loyalty of a friendship, and ultimately, the faults and ugliness of the Mafia and organized crime. Every story needs a great ending, and the ending of Mafia II leaves you heartbroken and wanting more, so we know what ultimately happens to Joe, which is great for a story in a video game. Mafia has a great story and great moments, but the main reason why it's so underrated and not talked about a lot is the fact that this game was marketed and initially perceived as an open world game similar to GTA. And if you look at this game through those lenses, you may end up being disappointed. This game is narrative driven and is trying to immerse you in a world through a story rather than gameplay mechanics. And I believe this game doesn't need to be as open world as GTA, for example. We see many games such as most Ubisoft games with large open worlds, but feel more hollow than Mafia II because the story is bland and repetitive. A really good comparison is Mafia II and Mafia III, where both had really good stories, but Mafia III has repetitive open world gameplay. Mafia II knows exactly what it can and wants to do, and even more than 10 years on, I still haven't seen a better story. 2K and Hangar 13 are currently working on Mafia IV, and are even attempting to agree on a 5th game to start right after 4th's release, which is very exciting, and I hope they go back to formula with Mafia 2, delivering a narrative first game over repetitive open world mechanics. Judging by their remake of Mafia 1, I have high hopes for Mafia 4. And you never know, maybe you might see Vito and Joe together once again. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm really trying to get to the 1,000 subscriber mark to finally be able to monetize my channel, and hopefully be able to put some more money back into the content to make it better for all you guys. So if you'd like to subscribe, it would make me a really happy guy, and if not, just checking out the content helps a lot. Have a good rest of your day, and always hang in there.